advise you to like a sequencing of activities, or within one activity, that how you go about it. Like if we feel that's like an important activity, that will help even other activities or even bigger activities later on. So we'll try to do so. At the end of the day, what we would like to also do between with your help, I need to define the work plan for us from ADB side as well. What kind of inputs you require when you are implementing your activities, that where do you want to use us, like either providing further inputs or reviews or like providing the exemplary template. So I want you to define maybe not like too certain details, because as Professor Yang on the first day expressed, if you just say advise us, it's a kind of whole range of things and it becomes moving target.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm old enough not to follow the moving target.
So
I know that the substances, but the
Well, you can pick some activities that what is your common in Europe? That's part of the bigger picture.
yeah, and
So
then,
then you can really go that
because
to someone else.
at the end of the day, it's your work then.
Yes. No, I mean, with your help you can explain it.
In between or while you're doing the plan, what specific inputs you would expect from us?
Sure.
Of course, I'm not saying we can accommodate everything,
No.
but we will decide, so that will form like our doctrine in support of your work.
See, two very broad expectations from our side is, one is as a third party consultant coming in to advise us on how to move about. With that experience, we would like on the COSTI structure and the COSTI framework, your critical suggestions on the COSTI, so the organization, I mean like what we have said, and maybe few inputs to the others who is supporting COSTI or other where we fit in the current government framework. Critical advice to them to get the best out of COSTI. These things you need to do, something like that. That essentially meaning the importance of coordination in STI within the current framework, having set up COSTI for coordination among line ministry. How you strengthen that, how you should accept the role and strengthen that to get the benefits out of it. That is an expectation from our side or from you. That's giving us more mandate, or rather that is important. Second is our mandate was STI operationalization, the strategy that we have come up with earlier. In that context, we need to do that level 1 to level 10 detailing out, not in all areas, maybe few selected areas, but Professor Yang mentioned that he can look it into some detail, but we will do prioritization, we will understand our amount of financial support that we have. So thinking without finances, going into detail or deep diving into each and every segment to that level 1 to level 10 kind of scenario. so that we pick and choose, we select, we understand our financial limitations. So that's a long term one we expect. Immediately we expect this COSTI supporting COSTI to do its mandate from the ADB side. And a few other things that we request will come while we are doing this end. You may ask, okay, how come some of these things are any relevant to the STI? Now this is where we said yesterday that we selected our activities after realizing that as a small team that there are certain gaps that exist, we need to quickly do something about that. That's how we have come up with this evolving 24 list of activities which is had added on. So I'll go through that. Is that okay or clear? The two main deliverables we expect. One is long term, one is short term.
So, like in the short term, within this visit,
Yeah.
so far you presented your idea and organizational structure and so on. Some of the things, like first of all, before we talk to this, I'm very sorry, especially to her yesterday. It was nothing personal. Partly it's based on my ignorance. But I was thinking just early this morning, like as a layman person, I'm bringing like a layman perspective and then maybe a little bit simulated Ministry of Finance perspective, right? Because and then you are the insider, so you understand issues and the frustration and so on. But at the end of the day, you bring out this kind of discussion outside of this room to somebody who's as ignorant as me, or maybe some inside of the country, that maybe the kind of reaction you see. So I think you should really have good analysis from the different perspective, not only your perspective. And then I keep hearing your like a stress on the industry relevance and like how to engage private sector and so on. And I appreciate you already started the process and you involving private sector people there. But you really need to change your like perspective. Like from the economics background, human beings react to incentives. And then I know in the beginning that things are happening based on the goodwills and so on. But also from the public policy perspective, you have to prescribe certain incentives so that you can encourage people actually be more productive and effective. So that was the thing. But maybe it's evolution. So maybe in the beginning you don't need all these like formalized like arrangement and so on. But eventually you will need that. So that was just like one observation. So the expectation from this week, like this 1 week period, was getting critical advice on whatever you planned and presented. And hope like so far our interaction has been useful for you. Then the second expectation was actually trying to influence other partners, and in this context, like it would be NPD, right? Treasury. And NPD.
Mainly treasury.
So you wanted to have this MOU signed with them, then take that as a basis for like a building up your influence into the planning process.
That will be main assumption. Yeah.
Then for that purpose, you want, as an outsider, Professor Yang as a person who actually initiated a very successful process in Korea, and then me as an ADB who's considering some investment in this sector, that mentioned to talk to Treasury saying that what because it would bring more coordinated approach in planning, and then also to some level, like with the expectation improving the system's productivity.
It's more than talk to. Maybe you should have a critical paragraph. Right.
And monitoring and avoid unnecessary duplication.
Avoid unnecessary duplication. So the key benefits that should come, which you observed in Korea, as a result of successful coordination, need to be put in like bullet point.
Okay, I think we can do that. We can actually come up with 5 bullet points, not a
Fine.
problem. However, that will be still very general. And then I review the MOU. I did my homework. I review the MOU, and then I can see where you come from. It is still very general. I see pros and cons of that. Being general, you can include other things later. And being general, you may end up getting nothing out of it. So we need to strike a balance.
To start, if you put your signatures on the dotted line, that's an excellent start. If you get the 2 parties, sit down and sit on. So don't worry about being too general, because we know our current position. So it will make significant headway in that general, even that acceptance.
Within the general process, we have certain we didn't want to be too specific.
I understand.
Specify certain discussions on the budget process and things like that. That will give us much more sort of.
But if we can get their inputs, what are the specific things we should?
Yeah, we need that also.
Then we can look at that and amend the bylaws.
And if it is recommended by them.
Yeah. After observing the current MOU that we have prepared, if you have come up with few more suggestions, by all means.
And they can propose back to the NPB and not us.
My reading, like my limited understanding, actually lead me to the conclusion. At this point, we cannot put anything specific, right? Because, I mean, like, maybe I haven't done my homework again. I don't see the evidence is actually showing in figures and quantitative analysis, even like some qualitative analysis. What you are saying now, there's lots of duplication, the system is not productive, and so on, is anybody can say, right? But if you have hard evidence, then it's much easier to convince others. For now, like you're saying, there's great potential by having more coordination. We can contribute this way. That is why I'm saying, coming up in the general level, coming up with the 5 bullet points is easy. Anybody can say it. But if we wanted to hear that coming from Professor Yang's mouth, because he has done it, so it carries some weight. It carries actually a lot of weight. So, because as he was kind of demonstrating for several days now, we kind of respect what he's advising because it's coming from the experience. So that we can do. But when you have to fight a real hard fight with the other ministries all objecting or whatnot, then you need really hard evidence that gives the ammunition, the right ammunition to the Treasury to say, look, what you guys are all doing is useless. Or you can do better than this with the same amount of money. Right? So that's something I just want to add.
But that again, if you want hard, not to that extent, but as per evidence, yesterday's presentation and what we are doing, if you ask a couple of questions, look, this is what we did, this is what we started to do in 1999, this is how it has now come up evolved. You have
Story, but okay.
yeah.
I came to see myself to the budgetary office because I prepared many things. Okay, but on hearing your preparation, okay, I will not talk. I will not recommend anything to them. I can do it because I don't know anything. What's going on here? Yeah.
Look, like a Professor Ajit, don't take me wrong. We can, this time, during this visit, we will meet Treasury and NPD and we will talk to them based on Korean experience and elsewhere. And then it's just general principle in planning and then government public policy implementation and so on. Better coordinated planning and monitoring. So always good.
Maybe it's a naive
Yeah.
question, but if you ask from Treasury, the question, how much of money today you are putting for research? They may say rupees 5. No. Just open question. 5 billion. Are you satisfied with the result? They will obviously say, no. That has been the general write-up. No. Then what is your process? They will say, we give the money. Then you say that should not be the process. That's why you're not getting the results. To me, that's a very, I don't know whether, I mean, you ask that question A, you get an answer B.
You wanted to have let them
Answer few questions.
accept the fact that the missing link in more productive R&D expenditure
Is what it
is
is.
coordination.
Yes.
That we can do. I'm not saying we cannot do that. But I'm talking about the next step.
I agree.
Treasury agreeing to the importance of coordination. They, even without this convincing, they already know. Don't you think so? That's why they're saying the MOUs, like let's do it.
No. They don't know. They don't know to that extent. MOU came as a result of a comment. They want to expedite some of their work and they want to get a little bit of feedback, which they said, look, people are not prepared to, the party with that MOU was supposed to be signed was not going to be responsible for that statement. So it has get into a bottleneck, or rather it came to an impasse. But we said we will be accountable if we say something, and so we said we will go with an MOU. That's how it came. It's nothing to do with understanding their shortcomings.
And the first meeting we had with NPD, they said that they
You
are
can do
happy
it.
with the present system. They have for coordination. They
Yes.
have 2 people.
Two people, and can you do it? Yes, you can.
Yes, we can do it. We don't need an external assistant for them to do a proper coordination.
They don't understand the errors.
That's the impression we got.
Then they said when they want any external assistance, they send it to somebody. But those people were not responsible
For their right.
for their comments.
Recommendation.
And that is why we said, no, if we do that, we can be responsible for it because we are a genuine organized body.
See, having listened to yesterday, basically the whole thing works because by law, the institutions have one ministries must respond to those questions. And here, if we don't have that power, nothing will happen. So they have, you see, Treasury asked anything. First we asked, they won't give. It will become more like a warranty. So that is the reason this sort of MOU will help to ensure that whatever the thing you mentioned yesterday will fall in place.
The MOU is very helpful, of course, but the question is getting them to agree to sign that.
Yeah.
And your point is right about taking factual evidence to support our argument.
No. Not the MOU stage. It's very general. So
Yeah.
I think we will try to convince them to sign this MOU. What I'm saying is the next stage.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay.
At this stage, we can't produce factual evidence. But we need
what she's saying is the next.
Next step.
So we will work on that.
We'll work on that.
We will work on it. No
We
question
work on
about
the
it.
time target.
If we
have to
sign
do
this
that.
MOU and then work done.
We are trying to push you to get the kind of picture with the treasury, your mind to be clear. Also, that's why we said you can ask 3 or 4 questions and you get clarity.
Then
Is it funny, discussion about the MOU on